All right, what is up, everybody? Shadow Scout 0013 here, reporting in. Be doing another Legion list build for Rebels again. So I know I haven't done any CIS or clones yet. I've never gotten any of the factions. I've gotten the Civil War factions whenever I started playing in 2020 of March 2020. That was the first thing I got, along with ATST and a few other things. But yeah, so I have greatly improved on my Rebel and Empire stuff, but not any clone or CIS stuff. So I will come out with them. I'm just kind of looking a little bit more into those lists and kind of seeing what I think would synergize really, really well. I'm seeing a lot of stuff from Crafty Terrain and Gray Squadron Gaming. And they're posting pretty consistently a lot of battle reports, which are super fun to watch and are very informative on kind of lists and how well they work. So I love seeing them play them out. And so I decided to just go ahead and make another Rebel list just for the sake of today. I wanted to kind of come out with another one. I liked Cassian. Now, I really like Iden a crap ton on the Empire side. But I think obviously Cassian is the equivocal piece to her for the Rebels. So let's go with Cassian and K2. I really like them a lot, and they synergize really, really well with special forces. Now, I made a list before with Castian and Sabine. Now, I think that's a pretty good list. I'm going to try to do something a little bit different and see if there's a different way to play some kind of like special forces with them. I really wouldn't mind the Mandalorian Resistance because of the amount of stuff that they'll be able to do with the red dice, with like Danger Sense, and then let's see, they've got Impervious. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff dice that the Mandalorians will be able to roll, and then they've got two here in melee and in range 2, which so do the Wookiee warriors. Even though there's 3 wounds for every Wookiee warrior, they roll white with no surging. They can at least hide a little bit more. Mandalorian Resistance, they'll have jump too. So there's a lot of like stuff that they can do. They're not the greatest. So we'll see. I think the commandos are awesome. The Pathfinders are great, and I was going to include at least one of those. And then at least probably 2 Mandalorian Resistance. So for Cassian, he's going to be with K2 a lot. I'm not going to really have him in his sniper config long or ever, usually for the most part. So Hunter, because aims are going to be great no matter what. And I don't want to have to try to recover, even though he's got a card to recover. You can do the offensive push, but I'm going to go with Hunter just because. And then situational awareness, because K2 is going to be able to use teamwork and give out dodges to Cassian. So we want to be able to cancel crits as much as possible. You're welcome, like I said, because he recovers, to use Ascension Cable, so you can get Cassian in and out because he has Infiltrate. And then definitely bring his gun, his config. Now with K2, you don't have to bring Jyn's Blaster. I kind of wait near the end to see if I have extra points. Now for the Rebel Pathfinders, a lot of people are taking Bistan because it's a ton of dice, it's impact and ion, and a ton of people are bringing vehicles. He's got to recover though. Now Pal has Inspire, and he becomes a leader. So the heavy is the leader, which is great. Still 2 hit points, but the Inspire 1, I think, is very, very important. It just kind of depends on how you plan on using the Rebel Pathfinders. Now, with the Mandalorian Resistance, you'll be able to pack on the jetpacks, but it's a one-time use for impact. This is kind of like for maybe like impact 4, 5, maybe. Or 4, yeah, impact 4, because of the amount of people that you would have in there, because it's 3 people, yeah. So yeah, it depends. But I'm gonna go with Bistan because it can be a lot of good dice rolls. Targeting scopes, I think, would be good because they're going to be rolling a lot of dice. They can, because I think with their normal gun, 1 to 3, you'd be able to just use 2 white. But it's up to you. We'll take it off for now. We're going to include the free long range and short range config. Duck and cover is going to be pretty good with them. So is a few other, let's see, what would also be good? Offensive push wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, endurance wouldn't be too bad, but I think duck and cover is going to be your best bet with the Rebel Pathfinders, basically. Now with Mandalorian Resistance, we can really do some damage in melee. And since they're fast, we're going to go with the duelist. Let's see. They're going to be able to take crits. They have nimble, so it's really hard for me to choose between situational awareness and offensive push. Usually I kind of play defensive, and so I take offensive push. Situational awareness, but I'm going to go with offensive push because I feel like they're going to want to move a lot, and they roll red saves anyway. So that's technically really what you want and all you need. I'm going to also give them the jetpack rockets, and then I'm going to double them. All right, so we have 492 points with 5 activations so far. We don't have any core. So let's go ahead and put our core in. Let's go ahead and start just putting 3 naked rebel troopers on. Let's give one the if you have a rebel trooper specialist, why not put a rebel trooper specialist on? It's 1 point more than a regular rebel trooper, and it'll give you a free dodge or surge at some point in time. So I'm going to go with a rebel trooper, and then on another one, I'm going to go with the medical droid. Actually, no, hold on. Take that back. I'm going to leave 2 of them completely naked, and then I'm going to do rebel veterans and a Mark II. And then give the rebel veterans the heavy and the medical droid. Boom. Okay, so let's see. 10 activations, 750. So here's your choice. You have one more slot for a core unit. So what you could just do is one more rebel trooper unit, and then you'd have 11 activations at 790, only using Cassian, K2, Rebel Pathfinders, and the Mandalorian Resistance. You could give, more to them, but that's up to you. And I know with the Rebels, you want to do more, heroes. But for now, I just kind of wanted to, explore a few things. What you could technically do is you could take out those 3 Rebel troopers that were naked, have 1 veteran, 1 Mark II, and then another Rebel trooper unit with, let's just say, the Z6. All right, so then let's see, supports the ATRT. I like the ATRT because it's kind of cheap. It's armor. So you're going to need to get crits. They're going to need to get crits through to hit you. And then it surges to crit. And then with the rotary blaster, you can do 5 black dice, which there's going to be a 50-50 chance of landing something with that. So, and with surging to crit, I mean, that's just awesome. Now you could do the, let's see, you could just do the laser cannon. And if you do the laser cannon, range 2 to 4, you have 755, so you have 45 more points. So you could just do another naked core unit. There you go. And instead of having that, you can just move your guy. You can move your specialist to the other one, so you don't have any naked. And then, yeah, you could probably put with the rebel specialist, probably grenades. Surge to crit there. Boom, 10 activations, full Mandalorian Resistance, 2 of them, Rebel Pathfinders, K2 Cassian, and with Cassian's command cards. So we go to command. Cassian will be able to give one to himself with Gunslinger, which is awesome. And then he can gain a suppression and then gain to standby. So that's phenomenal, especially if he's close up and close in. And if maybe you wanted to give him Overwatch instead of maybe either situational awareness or Hunter, you could. That's totally up to you. Now, let's see. That's 10, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to get rid of anything like that. So, and then so crack shot and ambush, or sabotage communications, where the command card, they can only issue one order with their card, but usually you might get a lot of those. So I'm going to go with just ambush. And then last stand. So when Cassian Andor issues an order to a commander or operative, that unit gains indomitable an operative, not special forces. Okay, so they wouldn't be getting indomitable, but I think that it's going to be great that Cassian or K2, especially K2, could get indomitable with the red dice. And then you can also do push. And then with volunteer mission, the free recover is awesome. And then that's going to be able to give it to the Mandalorian Resistance to recover, so they can recover their offensive push. Because you could do it to Cassian and then to both Mandalorian Resistance. And then they'll recover, gain danger sense 1. That's what it was. So then whenever they're getting shot, then they can do the extra red dice to gain a suppression and stuff. Or when they gain a suppression, they'll have danger sense 1, so they'll be able to roll a red dice for that suppression. So I think it's awesome. And then if you really wanted, I know someone who does the sacrifice card to gain Guardian 4, so that he can choose a commander, probably Cassian, in line of sight with him. You would defeat him, and then no one, especially if it's at the beginning, no one else could shoot at Cassian, especially if Cassian's in the open or has the objective, if he has one, like recover their supplies. You could do that one. Covering fire wouldn't work because you really don't have that many core units. And then assault probably would be the best. I like to infiltrate from the Rebel Pathfinders, K2 and Cassian. I'm sure there's a lot you can do with them. You probably could have taken the Mandalorian Resistance, reduced it, and had another Pathfinders. And it would have been way cheaper. You'd probably be able to get another unit on there if you really wanted to. I just like the Mandalorian Resistance because of how fast they are, because of its red dice with Rebels. And then they're going to be able to get into melee quick, which is going to be able to hold up some units, especially whenever you're maybe trying to do something with, going to the back to capture their back objective, or you're trying to stall a Jedi or something. Maybe using one of them to just be sacrificed in order to completely screw up someone's plans on one side of the board, so that, because they're fast enough to do it, especially with jump 2. Yeah, but that's my take on Cassian with Mandalorian Resistance and Pathfinders. It's an odd list, but people could use it. All right, I'll come up with a better list probably next time. If you have any suggestions or suggestions on characters, or what you want to see, just let me know, and I will happily create a list for you guys. But all right, until next time, I will see you guys later.